Welcome back to CryptosRus. I am George. We're all George. So, what is going on with Pepe, the latest meme coin to hit $1 billion? It has been selling off since then, but today the devs sell millions out of the blue. So, is a total rug pull coming? Let's talk about it. And also, let's talk about Bitcoin and that mysterious Bitcoin whale. Did we find who it is? Well, let's discuss that as well. Welcome, guys. Hopefully you guys are doing okay. Well, let's just jump right in. Let's talk about this Pepe. We know, most of you guys know, earlier this year, we had this brand new meme coin come out of nowhere, Pepe. It's a beloved meme worldwide. A lot of people love this little frog. And Pepecoin took off like none other, since sheep, really. And it's been holding steady around, $500 million in market cap, which is no small feat for a meme coin to hold that much value for this long. Has been very, very impressive. However, people started noticing some stuff today. Okay, first of all, someone's looking at this multi-sig wallet, which required 8 signatures prior, which means, I don't know how many devs there are, but it required 8 keys to be able to unlock the main wallet that had, a ton of Pepe in there. I don't know how much they hold out of the overall circulating supply, but normally when it comes to meme coins, the original founders or devs hold enormous amount. Usually it's over 50%. So I don't know how much they hold, but it's a lot. But the thing is, all of a sudden they decided to change it 8 out of 8 to only 2 out of 8 signatures required to make a move. That is very strange. Normally, there's no good reason for that other than you want to start pulling out and selling, right? Think about it. Why would you decrease the security, the number of keys required to unlock your wallet? It doesn't make any sense. That's why someone on Twitter asked about why would they do this, right? And then they noticed that, hey, a lot of Pepe coins started flowing out, and then they flowed out to a lot of exchanges. Zach Can't speak tonight. Zach XBT then said, well, 6.5 million went to Binance, 8.2 went to OKX, 434,000 went to Bybit, and then 489 to another address, right? So basically, you add it all up, they sold $15 million. That's why Pepe plunged 16% today, right? Way more than it should. The other alts are down like 1 or 2%, but they sold off 18%. Again, no reason, of course, no communication, nothing like that, right? But I would say this looks pretty bad. There's no good reason for them to decrease the number of signatures required for their wallet, first of all. And second of all, it's for sure they just took out a lot and sold it on exchanges. So does that mean there's more that they will be selling, right? Quite possibly. So, I mean, this doesn't look good. Not one bit. There's no good way to explain it. There's nothing you could say, that could be in defense of this, right? So, unfortunately, if you are holding on Pepe, okay, I would highly suggest to exit at this point until somehow there's clarification, until the team tweets out and says, well, this is why we did it, right? If there's any kind of good excuse, well, they should say it now because this is already out. People can track it. People already know this happened, right? And there's just really no good reason for it. Again, that's why you got to be careful. A rug could be incoming. They could be dumping in their entire stake soon. I don't know how much they hold, but it could be a substantial amount. Like other memes, if they hold 50% or more of the circulating supply, if they dump, Pepe's go dump back down to almost nothing. Okay, so I know a lot of you guys made money with Pepe, or maybe you broke even, you may be holding on to it, but you know, this is one of those situations where there's just really no good reason for it. So be absolutely careful, okay, about Pepe. Unlike Doge or Sheep or any of the other ones that have withstood the test of time, you could give that argument to them. And Sheep definitely is building, right, with Shibarium and others. Pepe so far, it's relatively new. No other progress, right? Staying in true meme, but again, no explanation for this. So I'm giving you guys warning about this. This could end up very, very badly. And more people that are finding out will probably be dumping this as well. So just be careful with Pepe. All right, now moving on. Let's get to some serious business. What about Bitcoin, right? What's going on with Bitcoin? Well, this morning I mistakenly thought that was Friday, so I was talking about the Jackson Hole Summit and the Fed speech, right? That is coming tomorrow, okay? So it's not today, that is tomorrow. And approximately, he will give that speech around 10 a.m., and I think it's going to dictate markets greatly. Markets are either going to rally or they're going to dump. Last time he gave a speech at Jackson Hole, it was no good. Bitcoin fell down like 30%, but it was a different time, different era when inflation was much higher, right? So very, very different. This time around, bonds are going up, which means that Wall Street is more bullish than bearish. The pre-market right now, at least it's kind of even, but still, that is what we have to look forward to tomorrow. And can it push Bitcoin up or down in a big way? Yes, there's also a big futures and options expiration tomorrow. Okay, the last Friday of this month. Next week, we head into September already. So there is a big expirations tomorrow that could also affect things. But I think this policy speak will definitely move things. Now, there's also something else. Something that a lot of people talked about. I talked about it. And that is this $3 billion whale. Okay, this whale came out of nowhere. And according to the address, it holds $3 billion of the Bitcoin, which is the third largest address in history or on record right now, right? And we know that it initiated from Gemini, and people are wondering, okay, so who actually owns it? So now, according to Arkham, they believe that it's Robinhood. Robinhood holds $3 billion worth of Bitcoin, and this has been gathering for the last 3 months, right? And people think, well, case closed, right? It's Robinhood. But does it make any sense? Robinhood is not doing too well financially, okay? And they have plenty of time to be loading up and stocking up Bitcoin. So to me, it makes no sense to just say, well, Robinhood owns a $3 billion. No, it's more likely that they purchased it for someone, right? And we know Robinhood has some large investors backing them. So I decided to take a look. Pulled up the top 10 owners of Robinhood. Number 1 is Vanguard. Vanguard also has interest in Bitcoin. In fact, back just last month, it was reported that they hold 560 million worth of Bitcoin mining stocks. So maybe Vanguard is also getting involved, but I couldn't help notice, but ARK Invest also is a big shareholder. Guess what? They're trying to come out with their spot Bitcoin ETF, right? And then you go down the list, BlackRock. BlackRock is also a major investor. Guess what? They're trying to come out with this spot Bitcoin ETF as well, right? So I think the story, there's more to the story. It hasn't ended. I think Robinhood may be holding it, but I don't think they are the ones actually behind it. I think it's one of these big boys that's buying, accumulating behind the scenes because they're getting ready for something, either a spot Bitcoin approval or they just want to buy and hold Bitcoin. Maybe someone like Vanguard. I don't think Vanguard is in the business of a spot Bitcoin ETF. They don't have an application in, but who knows? Maybe they just want to hold and own $3 billion worth of Bitcoin, right? So just want to throw it out there. I don't know exactly who it belongs to, but I don't think it's just Robinhood. I think they're holding it for someone big, right? But we know that there's a lot of institutions getting in, right? A lot of institutions get in. Even Dave Portnoy is jumping back in with Barstool Sports, which he just bought for $1. This is nearly $1 billion company, right? And Dave is buying in, but we know that it's not just Dave either, right? There are so much money out there that are waiting to come into the space. Here's one: Vessel Capital secures $55 million to invest in Web3 infrastructure. There is just so much money out there waiting to come in. This is still very, very early. There's so much more coming, right? And all this talk about spot Bitcoin ETF. What about futures ETF? Yeah. I mean, Ether futures ETF. Yeah, that's coming too, right? After Ether futures ETF, then we're going to have Ether spot ETFs too. So it's not just around Bitcoin anymore. All these big boys are also concentrating on Ethereum. There's just so much coming, guys. So much, and so much money will be flowing in. Trillions upon trillions upon trillions. It's going to be wild and exciting. All right, so stay strong, my friends. And then that's pretty much it. The only other thing is Base, Coinbase Base has been very popular, right? Volume is exploding, mostly due to friend.tech, right? But Base is based on Optimism's code base. So it was unveiled that they're going to do some kind of shared governance and revenue framework. Interesting, right? So I think it helps Optimism as well. All right, guys, that is pretty much it. Overall, Bitcoin is still going sideways, a little bit down from this morning, but overall still sideways. It could be boring, and it could be a little scary, I know. But like I said, there's so much coming into space, so much money that will be flowing into this space. This is definitely not time to be scared unless you're a Pepe holder, in which case you should be scared and thinking about getting out. All right, let's do some Q&A. All right, guys. Let me scroll up. Let's see if I missed anything. Maybe the devs want to buy a Tesla truck. No, I don't think. I don't think that's the case. All right. You mean it's not at zero yet? No, it's not. It's still, 300 something million, which is still incredible. But still, I just don't think there's any good explanation for this. I can't think of anything. If they wanted to, say, build a treasury or something, they wanted to do something, create a grant system, they need the money for more development, right? And just share it. Just share it. And there's definitely no need to be decreasing the signature count for a transaction, right? To be able to pull money from their wallet, there's no good reason to decrease the security. They could leave it the same, right? Unless they're just trying to, I don't know, get rid of the people that said no to this idea. Maybe, maybe it's just like one dev out of the many devs that decide to do this. I don't know. Florida, checking in. Welcome. Shy says, hey, I'm one of the devs for Pepe. We sold 15 million to buy tickets to Mars. I guess that's a good reason if you wanted to go to Mars. Carrie Hard says, I don't care. I still buy Pepe. You know, what's the saying? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Right? Just keep that in mind. Josh Neal, is Atom oversold? I don't know about oversold. It's just, it is what it is. It's at a level where it's at. Can it come back up? Certainly. But they need to fix their token economics. There's a lot of L1s coming out of Cosmos. They don't need Atom at all. And it doesn't really help Cosmos, right? So to speak. It does, because it's one more chain that can support IBC, but still doesn't help Atom price appreciate. Who owns Robinhood? It's just lists right here. This is a big list. Vanguard holds 7%. ARK owns 4%. You got BlackRock holding nearly 3%. And then you got like Citadel, less than 1%. Charles Schwab, 0.5%. Right? Crypto Finder, are you concerned at all about a consumer debt crisis or commercial real estate crisis? Yes, actually, more so on the commercial real estate side. I actually talked about it a few days ago. I brought it up. I listened to this Dave Sachs talk about it in the On podcast. Sounds a little worrisome, but I did get clarification from a commercial banker that says it's not nearly as bad as he made it sound. He didn't give the whole picture, right? But still, something to worry about. Try Red Deer Antler Velvet Extract for joint pain. That doesn't sound legal at all. Where would you buy that? Have I been to Boston? No, I have not, James. This is one of the big cities I have not been to. Thoughts on Algorand? I don't like it. I don't. I used to think that they were okay projects. Now I don't. I don't know. AlgoFi, their biggest DeFi project, going bankrupt, shutting down. You know, their CEO stepped down. Gary Gensler declaring as security, you know, even though that may be overturned. But yeah, there's a lot of things going against it. They were, you know, World Cup NFT provider, right? Partner. I thought they would do more with that. Nothing came out of it. So not very bullish on the Algorand. Thoughts on ApeCoin fall? Well, what about it? It did come down. Yuga Labs definitely took a big dump. Bored Apes, Mutant Apes, Other Side, they all went down hard. But I think they still have a really good chance to come up in the bull market. ApeCoin also is going to be used in their new metaverse, right? I don't know when that's going to be out, but when it does get released, it should definitely help. Don't you think all these big companies being owners by proxy will be bad for crypto in the long run? Yeah, there's no doubt. I know, like right now we're cheering for BlackRock to come out their spot Bitcoin ETF. Woohoo, right? Like short term it's good. Long term, I don't think it's good at all. Right? You don't want someone like BlackRock or Vanguard to be controlling Bitcoin, right? And they could try to do so if they end up buying a huge amount of Bitcoin. That's why, right? Retail investors and others got to prevent that from happening, right? 75% belongs to long-term holders. There's still that 25%, right? There's still time to accumulate. But yeah, I agree with you. We don't want the likes of BlackRock or Vanguard or whoever to be controlling and dictating Bitcoin, right? I don't have any thoughts on Ron Token Rod. You could stop spamming that nonstop. Kaya reacts. Do you still hold Sol? Yes. After FTX scandal, is it worth holding? I mean, it's been a long time, okay? We're past that FTX stuff. So yes, I do believe they're worth holding. BNB Black Swan, then ETF approval. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Too much FUD about BNB collapsing. Okay. If that's the case and it's in a free fall, why is it still sitting at number 4 on CMC? Why did it not fall any further than other altcoins out there? That's all complete nonsense. Binance itself could be shut down by many jurisdictions, right? But I think that's more likely than BNB collapsing. There's just no good proof of it. The people just spreading false FUD about it. Doesn't even make any sense. What do you think about Say? I talked to BD from Say, and I don't know too much about it. They're out of Singapore. They have a grant system to entice dApps. They're not EVM compatible, although they're thinking about making it. I mean, they're a relatively new chain. They got some good funding already, so I think it's too early to tell, but he did share with me that they have a good lineup, I guess, of dApps waiting to jump on. So that's all. That's pretty much it. Dr. Morano, GNC legal, banned in NFL. If it's legal, why would they ban in NFL? Can I scroll up for better questions? No. You should have asked a better question. Then I would have saw it already. Nicole says, WE operates 43.9 million square feet of commercial property. Look at their stock. Thanks for all you do. Is it a free fall? Oh, WeWork? Yeah. They don't own it, though. They just rent it. Their whole business model is to rent commercial property, right? For others to lease from them. So I don't think they actually buy it, right? And plus, yes, office space in general is really, really bad right now. There's too much office space out there. So yeah, that doesn't help them. Doesn't help WeWork at all. And a lot of people have been saying it's a scam. It's a scam company. I've heard a lot of people say that. I have never looked into it. I know the premise, but I don't know. Norman, appreciate it. Private info says people who sell at bottom lose money. LOL. That's 100% correct. That is correct. Yeah, I'll just leave this out. Who won the Republican debate yesterday? I don't know enough of their policies to make a solid determination, But from what I hear so far, I think Vivek has done pretty well. I've heard a few things he has said before. I think they make sense. I think it would be awesome to have a young president so they are more aware and can communicate with the younger generation, right? Because I feel like all of our presidents are just so darn old, right? You need someone with a new kind of thinking. Although, lack of experience, foreign policy, whatever, I don't know if he's good at all. I don't know enough about everyone's stance, but I just know that we need presidents that people actually are excited about and want them because they want them. We shouldn't have to vote on a president because we hate the other party so much. We have to vote the lesser of two evils, right? Like, that's a horrible way to elect a president. It shouldn't be that way. You shouldn't vote based on the lesser of two evils. You should actually vote on someone that you're really excited about, that you really want. But it seems like that's not the case. Sobel. A lot of degens follow me because I cover memes. I've said this before. There's nothing wrong with memes, okay? Memes bringing people into the space, especially when it's boring. If you want to degen a little bit, you know what? It's perfectly fine. But you don't want to go too hard, too heavy into it. And when you have the devs mysteriously selling a ton of Pepe, right? You got to watch out for that. That's not good. There's no good explanation for this. So, sometimes your thesis change, right? I don't vote. They're all on the same team. Sort of. They're all politicians. I don't think there's any clean politicians. I think every politician has a lot of dirt, and they stepped on a lot of people to get to where they are. There's no doubt about it. It's cutthroat. Modelos are better than Coronas. I actually don't like Modelos. I've tried. I don't like Modelos. Are you still thinking Matic to $10 during the next cycle? So that is roughly 20x. Can that happen? Yeah, that could certainly happen. Is it guaranteed to happen? No. It could just do a 10x to $5. It can maybe go to $10, right? So there's no guarantee of that. But I would say based on previous runs, something like that could happen. Rich, I appreciate that, but I would never, ever, ever, ever consider running for president or becoming president because I would suck at it. It's way too demanding of a job, and I don't want to make those hard decisions. No, not for me. I don't like Modelo. All right, guys. Overall, you know what? Tomorrow we got the big Powell speech from Jackson Hole. Robinhood, are they really the owners of the $3 billion of Bitcoin? I think it's more likely one of the holders or owners of Robinhood. It's more likely that one of them is the $3 billion owner. And lastly, this Pepe thing, be careful. I know a lot of you guys do hold Pepe. A lot of you guys love Pepe. But there's no good explanation why they all of a sudden decreased the security or number of signatures on their dev wallet, and then they started selling all this Pepe without letting anyone know. It's not a good look. A rug may be incoming, so be very careful. All right, Os. Hey, bud. Smash a like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Happy Friday, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.